Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm fishing, I'm back at Nash Point where I fished last week. But I've moved location. I'm fishing down on the beach section that I talked about last week. That's about 500-600 yards west of the cafe car park area and the headland. Second casts are out. I'm doing my intro after I've already caught a fish, which I'll show in a minute. I had a very small pouting first cast on a 3/0 pulley pennel. The pouting weighed about 4 ounces, I think, and the weight was 6 ounces. So anyway, he was lip hooked. I saw a bite, I brought it in, and so the blank is beaten today. So I put him back to fight another day. He had plenty of life, he was only lip hooked. It's Tuesday the 2nd of May. Low water is about half an hour before midday, 11:30. So that's about 2 hours away. So I've been fishing for about 40 minutes already on the beach here, and the plan is to fish to low and then probably fish at least 3 hours back up, because the sand is pretty much all the way to the base of the pebbles. And then obviously I've got to get back around the headland. It's a build-in tide. It's about 10.2 meters on the Barry scale. Low is about 2.5, so we've got about whatever that is, 8-9 meter change in height today. So it's quite a decent tide. Well, that's the last thing I expected to catch first cast. A little pouting, had tiny little bites. I thought I'd missed it, and there he was, barely lip hooked. Barely looked up. Took a 3/0 pulley pennel with bluey and squid. Big bait, meant for something else. And there we go. First cast blank is beaten. Let's go get him unhooked and put back in. So in terms of where I am, you can see the headland over there where I was basically fishing in front. So that's about 500 meters or so to my left as I'm looking out to sea. And here are the rods. Got 2 rods, same old business going on there. Got 5-foot pulley pennels, no rotten bottoms, just 6 ounce or 7 ounce grip leads. Using same baits as last week, prawn, bluey and squid. That's all I had in the freezer. Haven't got any fresh worm or anything like that. But you can see him actually on the sandy beach bit. And you can see the rock ledges behind me. But basically you can see the rock ledges that go out they're still going out to sea. That's predominantly where I was fishing last week, and obviously lost a reasonable bit of tackle. But I felt a little bit more comfortable fishing in the rocks there, knowing that there'd be fish. But I'm pretty chuffed that I've caught something already. So anyway, beautiful mark. There's one person right on top of the cliff there on the headland. A couple of walkers coming over. So it's a reasonably popular mark during the day. And as I said, when you're on the beach area, in the public areas, you just got to be careful with the baits that you've got lying around on the hooks. Just when you thought it was safe to go in the water, the dogs are back. So that was taken on a double prawn dongle, and very kindly, as I got him to the water's edge, he just spat it all out, so I don't have to even unhook him. So a bit lucky to get that one in. If I'm honest, I didn't see a bite. He must have just been sat on it. I'm trying to get used to beach fishing off the sand. It's the first time I fished a beach for a long time. But anyway, let's get this baby doggy back in the water. Well, it's another doggy. Two in 2 casts now. He was taking on prawn and squid on a standard pulley pennel. So quite a busy start to the session. 2 dogs and a pouting. I've had something tapping away on the left hand rod for a while, so I'm just gonna bring that one in and have a look. Well, that's not good. Stuck solid. I thought I was fishing on clean sand. You can see where I've come from down the beach here, but as the tides receded, a lot of hazards have uncovered themselves. So a few more corally sort of ledges have appeared here, and unfortunately I haven't got a rotten bottom on, so I made a mistake there. I suppose again it shows the value of maybe doing a recce at low water. I didn't come over last week at low water over this side. I just sort of looked over, and I've made a poor assumption really that it was sand all the way once the rock ledges ended behind me. Anyway, we'll just let that one sit to see if whatever it is, doggy, can clear that, get clear of that snag. I was just retrieving my left hand rod, and I came back and the grey rod was slack, basically lying on the floor, so we're going to have a look at that now. Here we go, something a little bit different. It's a conger eel, pretty angry conger eel, hooked right in the lip. He's probably about 3 or 4 pounds. Gave a really good account of himself. I got stuck, I had to go out onto the ledge, which was a little bit unnerving really, because a few waves coming over. But I got my chest waders on and the tide is going out. Well, there we are, pretty happy about that. Let's get him unhooked and put back in. There he goes. Hopefully he knows his way out. Little channel there that he can get out to sea. Although he is coming back in. Come on. Hopefully he's sussed which way to go now. Well, that was the end of a busy 20 minutes or so. Lost a set of tackle, cast back out with a rotten bottom and a plain lead, had a good bite but was stuck and lost that. Well, got the trace back, but obviously the fish had gone, and then I had that conger eel. So both rods are out of the water. I'm probably going to move because I've got all this snags have just come in front of me, so I'm probably just going to walk down right about 100
100 yards or so, because what I'm having to do is that gully there is pretty deep. I haven't tried it, but I've gone way past my knees on my chest waders. I don't really want to go wading in there too deep, and I'm having to sort of go to the right and climb across, go across the top of this ledge to get in. So rather than do that, I'm just going to walk down and carry on fishing in about 10 minutes down the bottom.
Here's a sort of typical bait I'm using. I've got a whole king prawn and half a small squid, just wrapped on a, this is just on a 3/0 pulley pennel. Bait is probably about 4 inches long, and that's on a 5 foot or a 6 foot pulley, 70-pound fluorocarbon. A lot more wind today than I thought there was going to be according to the forecast. It's gusting quite strong, so hopefully you can hear me above the wind noise. My GoPro's fallen over three times. I'm not sure how the sand and the water are going to react with it. So fingers crossed all this footage and sound is working okay. Anyway, let's get this one out in the water. Well, hopefully you can see that marker buoy there on the end, almost on the horizon. That marks the eastern end of Nash Sands, which is a very large sandbank which is 3/4 of a mile wide and 10 miles long. And basically, as you follow it around, you can see the waves are breaking over it at low water. As I say, 10 miles heading up towards, or heading west towards Port Call and there. So a very dangerous stretch of sand. And apparently, reading some literature up at the cafe, it's a very good place to see porpoises on the end of the sandbank there. Not that I've seen any, or I have to have good eyesight to see them today, but anyway, but you can see how the waves are actually breaking there along that sandbank. Hopefully that comes out on the video, but that was an interesting fact. I didn't realise it was so big, 10 miles long, and quite a famous boat fishing mark as well. It's almost low tide now. It's been a very busy morning. 2 dogs, I think, a pouting and a conger. So there's not just dogfish down here. So it's nice to catch something a little bit different. The pouting gave me a big surprise, I must say. I had to have a little chuckle with that one. Conger, well, I thought it might have been a ray, but anyway, there we are. Put a good account of himself, particularly on the rough ground. And that was caught on prawn and squid. So I bought some prawn off Baits for You Limited in Sedbury, a whole box full, about 100 king prawns for 30 quid. And I've been surprised about how, what they've been catching. Obviously the dogs will probably eat everything, but the conger came to that. And I think one of my rays last week down at Ogmore, my spotted ray, I think came to the prawn as well. Anyway, low tide, I'm going to be moving back soon. So let's keep fishing and see what else the flood brings. Oh, here's another dog. I've had a bit of a disastrous 10 minutes. I'll show you the mother of all birds' nests in a minute. Just had a massive crack off and a big bird's nest on the other rod. So I've moved a little bit further left as looking out to the sea. Sorry, right as I'm looking out to the sea. Just to try and clear this rough ground that's in front of me. So this doggy was stuck in a snag as well. So it's pretty rough out there, but plenty of fish. I don't know why I use multipliers. That was the remnants of my last cast. I don't know what went wrong there, but just the reel exploded on the cast out. Anyway, gonna change reels, rebait and get going. I'm getting little bites on the rod there. I'm just going to bring it in. I thought I was filming that. Basically, it was just another dogfish. So I think that's dogfish number 4. Yeah, dogfish number 4 today. Well, pretty much as soon as the bait hits the water, there's a fish on it. I'm sure this is a dogfish. He's just very dark brown spots, put a good fight for himself. But only fishing one rod, still haven't had a chance to deal with my two bird's nest reels. I cast out my spare reel and I had an overrun on that which I couldn't clear, so a bit annoyed about that. So it's 2 bird nests on the same trip and I can't remember when I last had one. So anyway, I think this is doggy number 5. We'll get him unhooked and put back in. One thing I should have said earlier when those reefs, that reef just uncovered in front of me, was when I was started fishing, I was wading out probably 20 yards just past my knees just to get a little bit more distance on my cast. But it is quite a steep shelving beach, so you just got to be careful if you're new to the beach and you're walking out and you're wading out, because obviously those close to those reefs, it really does sort of dip down quite deeply, because it's scoured out behind the reefs as such, and you could be up to your waist. So it's just something to think about, particularly on a new venue. Made the mistake, as I said earlier, really I should have just come over at low water just to have a look, because on Google Maps, I've just looked on Google Maps, and those reefs that uncovered in front of me weren't actually there. So perhaps but I should have perhaps anticipated that there was going to be something there. Anyway, you never quite know what's there, so just be careful if you're wading out in the water. Just know your limitations, know your mark. It's about an hour and a half after low now, so probably going to fish for another hour, I think. I've moved back already, and you can see all that reef now is all covered up, it's all gone. So you'd think if you were coming to the mark at this sort of time when the tide was ebbing, you might think, there's just sand there, but obviously you've just got to be careful. So it's been a good trip so far, plenty of fish, a few mishaps. My GoPro's fallen over twice. I've just taken the soundproof cover off and cleared out some sand, and obviously 2 birds nests, which disaster. So I'm only fishing 1 rod. I've only brought 3 reels with me, and I'm not in the mood to reline 2 reels, so I'll do that at home. Just hopefully I don't mess up on this other rod. But it's been good. 4 or 5 dogfish, pouting and a conger. Certainly an interesting mark to fish. First time I fished a beach for well over 2 years, so bloody sand gets everywhere. It's windy, a bit windier than I expected. Sand in your sandwiches, sand on your bait, everything. So it's a different sort of fishing, I think, but thoroughly enjoyable. Lovely day, nobody here. Got the beach to myself, which is great. No dogs this time. Anyway, 1 more hour, see if we can get another dog or 2. Here's a headland just in front of the car park. Beautiful structure. Seagulls having fun up there in the up currents from the cliffs. It did say that there were fulmars nesting here. I wouldn't be able to tell you what they look like. I know it's a type of seagull, but they all just look like seagulls to me. And I saw a couple of chuffs earlier on, member of the crow family, quite a rare member of the crow family as you come down the cliffs. Got red beak. Tide's pushing well in now. There's about maybe 100 yards of sand left where I was fishing. I called it a day. about 2 hours after low water. There were still rocks, even in the middle of the beach there were rocks there, so I didn't use a rod and bottom. Maybe I should have done from the start. I lost a couple of sets of tackle in snags, when I should have really used the rod and bottom when I was on the cleaner sand as well, I think. Maybe something for next time. But a good session overall. 5 dogs, conger and a pout. I lost a couple of other fish, so pretty much getting a bite almost every cast. And just getting back to grips with fishing on the beach. Sand everywhere, bit more blowy, bit more in the open, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Appreciate, sorry it's the same mark, but I wanted to come back and have a look at it at low water on the beach side, so know a bit more about this venue. Definitely will come back. Hopefully, well, I might not be able to get out next week. Got family staying with me and stuff like that, so might have to wait a couple of weeks for the next video. But anyway, if you're out fishing, be safe, take care, and all the best. And thanks for watching, liking and subscribing. Cheers now.